Hello everybody and welcome back to Just for Fun. My name is still Devin in case you were wondering, and today we're gonna talk about what your rabbit's diet should be. This is based on how I feed my rabbits, because if you look at other groups or different types of people who own animals, like if you're raising them to breed them or breeding them for certain reasons, you might find that people are going to suggest that you feed your rabbit different things. So based on people who own pet rabbits and things like the House Rabbit Society and those sort of groups, you're going to most likely, and vet recommended, actual rabbit savvy vets, you're going to find this should be what your rabbit eats. So what should your rabbit eat? In short, oh yeah, I'm going to be looking at like my nose this whole time so I don't over talk, because I'm going to be, you'll see. Okay. So what should your rabbit eat? In short, it's going to be 80% hay and then 10% veggies, and then the other 10%, 5 and 5, is going to be pellets and treats. This is all going to be based upon, because I see a lot of people get confused about feeding their rabbit, it's really going to be based on your own rabbit. There's going to be some that can't handle certain veggies, that can't handle pellets. So right now I'm going to simplify what each thing is. So what is hay or what is pellets and like what veggies. And I'm going to just maybe like introduce these items to you, and then later I'm going to make it's going to be a part like 4 in total. So this will just be introducing you to the things, and then later I'll do one just on hay and one just on veggies and one just on treats. I'm going to talk a little bit about pellets at the end here, so then this will be the pellets. So we'll start with hay. So simply, what is hay? It's going to be grass or legumes that are cut and dried, simply put. There's definitely not all created equal. There's different cuts. There's hay that grows in different parts of the world. So there's cool hay and grass hay, which could affect like what kind of hay is in your area. Then the cuts are all going to be different, so that'll be different qualities of hay as well. So they definitely are all different. And I see a lot of people ask, straw and hay are 2 different things. Don't get straw unless it's for bedding, and don't really use hay as bedding, because unlike straw, it can easily get moldy and things like that. Okay, so what is hay good for? It helps with the 2 main health problems in rabbits, which is GI issues and dental issues. So obviously that's good. It's a boredom breaker, and it helps to form good litter habits. Again, I'm trying to like really simplify it, and I'm gonna expand on all this later, so I'm like stopping myself because I'll freaking talk forever. So I have to look at my notes and be like, what only are you supposed to say, Devin? Because otherwise you guys will kill me. We already talked about that. Oh, I forgot to mention that there is like grass type hays and alfalfa type hays, which is the legumes. If you have an adult rabbit or a baby rabbit, their diets are going to be different. Adult rabbits should have grass hay unless they have some sort of health issue or weight issue. Some people say that their rabbits won't eat hay. Some people's rabbits are allergic to hay, which again we'll get more into depth in on my actual hay video. And then veggies again are divided on opinion. It's going to depend what veggies you can feed, depends on how your rabbit's going to react to them. So you should never just go and buy a bunch of veggies and feed them to your rabbit. You have to do it introducing one item at a time in small quantities for 3 or 4 or 5 days, and see how your rabbit reacts to it, because there are ones that are higher in water content that cause gas, that are higher in calcium, so you really need to watch those things. Again, the benefits can be that they add water content, and then their forage and enrichment depending on how you feed them, and obviously they provide different proteins, minerals, and things like that for your rabbit. We'll get more into that next time, but then what kind of treats can your rabbits have? This is something that I'm actually really like, it upsets me a lot. Pellets and treats and things that you can buy at the store, and not just for rabbits, for any animal, because as consumers, the businesses really do take advantage of us. And when we're not educated, if we see a rabbit on something or a dog, we just think like, oh, that's gonna be good for my animal, but it's really not. A lot of things are unhealthy for them. So in this video right now, I'm just generally going to say to avoid pet store treats in general, and then later I'll talk about in that other video like what things might be good. So for now, if you feed your rabbit veggies or like herbs already, those are good treats. So just until we make the other video, do that. And then the last thing is pellets, which is super controversial. I'm not gonna get super into pellets because personally I have a rabbit who can't stomach pellets, so I feed a little bit more veggies. It is possible that your rabbit can't have them. And it's funny because I see a lot of people who are really like, rabbits need pellets. But then the same people who are saying that they need them are the same people who are feeding a really crappy quality pellet. And to me, you're better off not feeding pellets than feeding a really low, potentially dangerous health, product to your animal. So muesli mix is a no. What you're gonna give them is based on weight, which is normally on the package. I would just ignore that, because to me, when I did feed pellets, it was more of like, I don't know what word I want, like a vitamin supplement. It was something to supplement their diet, so I would scatter feed small amounts or hide like little bits around for them to find. Another thing is that pellets can be choking hazards, so it is recommended to scatter feed them. And they can definitely cause weight issues if you are overfeeding or unlimitedly giving it to them. I'm actually going to link a video that I used when I did feed pellets from another YouTuber down below. Obviously, can you see my, oh, you guys can't see my PJ pants. I look like I'm dressed, but I'm like in my pajamas. Okay, anyway. I'm gonna link this video to another YouTuber because she actually goes over like how much protein and how much, like to check the sugar, to check what ingredients are first, because you want it to obviously, depending on what your rabbit's age is, to be Timothy based, and to really look at the ingredients. I think that she recommends a few different brands, which obviously I don't feed pellets anymore, and I have heard like some brands change their formula or whatever, so always double check things, always look online, because the information that other people are finding is always going to be available to you too, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's good to ask other people's opinions, but never just take somebody else's opinion, because there's always going to be pros and cons to something else. So I think that that's really important to think about. So I'll link that video for you guys, and hopefully this was like a good small introduction, because there are a lot of questions that I see people have, like, can I feed this type of egg, or do they need pellets? And so if you guys have any more specific questions, to let me know, and next time when I make each individual when I make each individual video, you guys will probably want to kill me, but I'll try to be really specific with everything, because I want you guys to understand, because I know what it's like to feel like, is this right? Like, is what I'm doing okay? Or everybody else says this, or one lady online like said this, and she's supposed to be some bunny expert. For me, I would never want anybody to call me an expert. I would never want to be an expert. I obviously don't have like actual schooling, it's just what I've read online. But to me, when you're at the stages there where you're like an expert, I always want room to grow. I always want to be able to learn new things, and while saying that, I actually would love if you guys disagreed to nicely tell me why you disagree. Link me to some information, because I love reading things, I love research, I love learning new stuff, and I'm never afraid to say that I'm wrong, because there's plenty of times that I'm probably still wrong, and a million times in the past that I was really wrong. So there's definitely nothing wrong with messing up. but there is something wrong with when you could possibly be doing something wrong, or somebody tries to inform you that something you're doing could be dangerous, and you're like, I've been doing it forever, it's fine, like, but you don't have anything to back up, you know, other than it's fine. I could probably take, like, if I had a kid, take him to McDonald's every day, and, like, he would live off of just McDonald's, but would he, you know what I mean? Would you really be healthy? Would you? So, to me, saying something like that, there's nothing substantial behind it other than, like, your rabbit is thriving, which there's a difference between surviving and thriving, and I think it's really important that when you're the caretaker of something that no longer has the ability to be wild, which, by the way, in the wild they don't live that long anyway, but it doesn't have the ability to make choices on its own, and most animals that are foraging or scavenging animals are just gonna eat what's available to them, whether, you know, it's really good for them or not. So that's all for right now. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you want to see the rest of the 3 videos, then be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.